story. We're looking forward to hearing from you and hearing your story.
Appreciate that. Usually there's a louder round of applause. All right, yeah. Let's get the energy going. Yes. I've met many of you, right? Appreciate you all being here. Grace, come on down. And everybody knows Grace. And if you haven't, you come up afterwards and say hello. Everybody has a voice, but not everybody is heard. This is the tagline from the 5 voices, which I'm certified to give. And I didn't realize how true that statement was until I really started to look at, what do? I love to talk to people. Have I talked to everybody here at least once? Almost. Let's fix that if we haven't. And what I love about communication is there's 2 parts. There's the sender and the receiver, right? And in between, sometimes there's interference. So if I want to get really clear on sharing a message, some things that I'm really good at, I have to get really clear about the message that I'm sending. I also have to be aware that for the receiver, each of you, sometimes they need a different message, which is why you may hear me say some of the same things, just in different variations of it. So when I got really clear about who it is and what I want to serve, and how I do this, man, have I seen my whole life start to take shape. Some of you see some of the pictures up here. I can't take any credit for the slide. Miss Marcy helped me put it together. But I served 13 years in the United States Army. And one thing I'll say until I'm blue in the face about the military is we are great at giving you a mission, a purpose, a vision, values, discipline. And the one thing people don't correlate, empowerment. I took all of my best skills and gave it away to the next person so that they can continue the mission. I see a good friend of mine here, Mr. Raul Moreno. He has a podcast called Charlie Mike the Podcast, which means continue mission. And man, did I need that message at that time. Once you transition, how hard is it to really continue the message, continue the mission? It's so difficult. I got lost. It got really dark for a little while. But my wife told me, you can fix this. You can get better. So I started to figure out, how do I do these things? It's through reading. It's through listening to other people speak, books, podcasts. And one quote that I live my life by is by Leo Tolstoy. The sole meaning of life is to serve humanity. Shortly after that, I read a book called The Go-Giver. I read a book. Does everybody here know my favorite book? Which is it? I know, I gave away the answer, my bad. I meant to say it the other way. But yes, I give this book out all the time, and it's the same thing. How do we give away value? How do we show connection, authenticity, receptivity? How do we express this? And it's by connecting people. Things that I didn't realize that I was unconsciously competent about, which is just a fancy way of saying, I'm really good at these things, but I didn't realize it. Once I became competent and knew that I can get better, I started to do so. I started to read more. I started to speak more. And here in this Pearland community, you will see that that's what I'm doing. I'm always trying to find a way to bring value to each and every one of you, whether it's through one-on-one coachings, workshops, keynotes, you name it, I swear I've been there. And that is the power of what I do. In this society, we want instant. We want virability. We want to be the Instapot. We want the air fryer. How do we do this in our business? You hire a coach. And that's what I've spent the last few years doing. My wife and I have done shaved ice and lemonades. It's been fantastic. It's been a lot of fun, providing lots of value pretty cheaply. And then the other part for me is I've created groups in a community of people who really want to get really clear on it. Because that transition out, that's exactly what happened. Obscurity. Had no idea what I wanted to do. Lost my community, lost my own vision, lost my purpose. But when I got really clear on it, things started to take shape. Things started to improve. Because we are all self-made. But those that are most successful admit it. Which is to say, you're not a victim of your circumstances. Own where you are. Change it. You can take charge of this next course, this next goal. You have to dream bigger. You have to change your community. You have to change your friend group, and it gets hard to do so. But you don't have to do it alone. And I'll end the same way I end all my podcasts or all of my keynotes. You are loved, you are enough, and you are stronger than the problems that face you. Love you guys.
Thank you. All right, so now we've got the first question already back.
Oh, dang it.
Go right ahead, Rob.
Hey, you have a real popular podcast. Where do you record your podcast?
Yeah, I'll tell you all the time. I'm a huge fan of Pearland Podcast Studio. Grace down. Raul has been a fantastic friend of mine for many years, many years. He purposely said, you're going to start a podcast, and it's going to be called With William Garay Jr. And so I love the name Business Coffee Hour, but he made sure I named it With William Garay Jr. because it's mine and it changes. I talk about leadership, I talk about entrepreneurship, and I just talk about what it's like to actually get through those problems. Yes, ma'am.
So, what challenges did you face during your journey? You said you've been in business, like you've been doing this about 3 years, correct?
Coaching, yes.
Coaching, yes. What are the biggest challenges, like you're facing or was facing?
The biggest challenge that I think all of us as business owners face is that imposter syndrome. Like, is this really who I am? But how do we overcome that? How do you build confidence? It's through the evidence, right? This isn't mine, this is Hermosi, he says it a lot. This is evidence. When I look back, this is why I always correlate what I did in the military. When I look back, that's all I ever did. I always serve the next person. How do I make sure that they have everything they need to take over my job? So when it comes to coaching, the hardest part was saying, how do I make sure they do this? I kept thinking, do I have this system? Do I need a certification? I didn't need any of that, right? It helps, but I didn't need any of it. I just had to come with the true heart and show myself.
And just follow-up question on it. When all of us, like being in business, like we have our ups and downs, like what helps you when, like it's actually downside of the business, like and you see, like something falling apart, and I think all of us being in business, it happens once in a while, like, so what helped you overcome it, like what helped you, like just, like do another step forward, like
It's a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior. When I was in the Army, we went through a master resiliency trainer, which is how do we make sure that our soldiers are able to come back from adversity? How do we prepare them for that? I take it back even further. My mother and grandmother, if you follow me, you'll see I sent this message just before I walked in here. They said, count your blessings. So it's finding the good things in your life and learning that if I focus on the good, I will get more good. Where your eyes go, that's where your focus goes. Where your focus goes, that's what you attract. So I learned that even though I may be down, there is something that I can do, right? The self-made. I can own one part of it. I talk about this 101%. You find 1% of the problem that you can control. There's a situation with my son and I, and he may be completely at fault. What can I own in that? And I give 100% of effort to that. As a business owner, when you're stuck, what can you own and how do you get better? Can you put all your effort towards that? Brant, you had a question?
Yeah, tell me about the Go-Getters group and what that space looks like.
Mr. Brand is one of the very first members of the Go-Getter group. The Go-Getter group is a place where we are encouraging, we share wins, we share strategies, we share resources. Oh, wait. The Go-Getter group is a place where we share momentum, motivation, that's what I'm really good at, but as well as resources. It's knowing that you're not alone. I've done this many times in my last, I would say, I've been out 7 years now. Finding a group to grow with, right? Every week we meet and we share, I usually share a leadership lesson that I've learned from either coaching a corporate client or one-on-ones, and then we say, what are your problems and how can we help you with that? Because what I found is it's obscurity that we deal with. This and this and this and this and this and this and that and that. I don't know which platform to go on. I come in and say, what is the one thing that you're going to fix? And how can I support you along that? That's been the Go-Getter group. We started in August. We meet every week, Friday, 9 a.m. at Lit Java.
At where?
Lit Java.
How does one join the group?
So you are welcome to just pop in whenever you want, really. I offer this all the time. It's a month free. You come in for a month. It is a paid group. After a while, we'll roll you over. My job within that month is to make sure you get so much value that if you do leave, you're still going to be like, that was worth every single day I spent there. Which I'll come to the end, but we have something for you at the end.
What is one of the most proudest moments that you have in your coaching career?
Oh man, I'll share this past week. Again, if you go to my socials, you'll see my son. There's a clip of there from the Live to Lead event, right? Which was a fantastic event. Some of you are there? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. You all know that I was the best speaker, clearly, right? No, everybody did a fantastic job, so many different lessons. But the highlight was somebody from the audience said, we have identified your son. He has just been everywhere. And we were trying to figure out whose son he was or whose child he was. And we learned that he was yours. And they just gave me compliments about him. And I'm like, and I shared after, this is leadership to me. What you do is the example of what they do, because kids will not hear you. They may hear you, but they won't actually hear you. They will only do what you do. And so for me, that's been a highlight. From the group, though, I'll share this one. From not the go-getter group, I have another mastermind group. We had one guy close a huge client, huge, changed like the trajectory of his career. And when he shared that win, we all got pretty emotional because even though it wasn't ours, we had a small part in helping him do that. And man, was that so satisfying to do. Yes.
First of all, that speech you did was so good. We were sitting there, when we left, we were just like, oh my God, was he really talking for that long? And we didn't notice. It felt like, it felt seamless. Like he's talking now, that's how long it felt. But it was a long speech, but I was like, God, that was really entertaining.
You were divided.
Yeah, it was really good, but I just wanted to say that.
I appreciate it.
Like he's a professional.
Like he's done that before.
But yeah, you did really good, but that wasn't the question. Like you do podcasts, so you use social media already,
Mm-hmm.
and you do coaching in person with these small business owners. Are you ever going to take that online, like do it over, like to reach more people outside locally? Just wondering.
That's a great question, and it's not the how question, it's the who question. And so with the Go-Getter group, that's what I'm building, a group of who's. Who do you go to? Who do you grow with? So I've hired a marketing team. I've hired media teams. I have an editor on staff. I'm always trying to find who can I partner with, not collaborate with, right? When you collaborate with someone, it's free. Yeah? I'm trying to partner with people so that we can grow together because the more money I make, the more money I'm able to invest in this community. So going online is something that would be in the works. My biggest problem is how do you replicate what I do? And so I do have a coach that I'm currently mentoring right now, so get her involved in the same framework that I do, making sure that she delivers the same way that I do. And so for me, right, I'm not gonna be able to coach everybody. At the end of the day, my prices are gonna keep going up, and I'm gonna be like, come to the group, or here's this person that can fill in for me. So that's my biggest pain point is fulfillment. Yes.
Second question. So you're pretty much saying like hold him accountable. Like pretty much you just want to make sure you hold him accountable like online. That's probably would be the biggest thing is making sure they're getting stuff done that you're handing out tasks to give them to help them out in their business.
Yeah. So for the online portion, you know, I teach networking all the time. So I have an ebook that people can go and buy. I have, and then it's the group, right? So singular purchase, get into the group, get active, one-on-one coaching, keynotes, workshops, right? But more than likely, let's be honest, you guys may not all be my ideal clients when it comes to workshops, right? I've worked with Covenant House, NOV, Insperity. I did something for the city of Houston. I even gave a help facilitate at NASA. So it's like, those are the cool things that I'm getting ready to go do. Miss Marilyn, I'm coming right back.
As a coach, if you have a client that is doubtful or afraid of taking the next step, how do you lovingly shove them into the water?
All right, well, this is, yeah. I always tie it back to why are they doing this, right? You have to have a big enough why. If it's just for money, then you're in the wrong profession. If it's just for money, you're not going to do it. I can pay you all the money in the world, and you'll still hate that job, right? You may get to it a little easier, but that job is just a tool. So I usually go through, right, this is the framework that I taught a couple weeks ago. I affirm who they are, why you do it, right? I align it, making sure it's showing up on your calendar. Is this the task? Some of you in the Go-Getter group will know I'm always, what's the goal? What's the goal? What's the one thing? Making sure it shows up. And the last thing is the accountability. What one small action can you take? Because jumping in the ocean may seem scary, but I promise you just put your foot in and next thing you know, you're out there swimming. You've answered, yes.
So have you always been this way in terms of like encouraging people and trying to, uplift and things like that? Or was there like a shift in your life that caused you to do this and become this new version of yourself?
Raul, you've known me the longest. Have I always been this way?
Pretty annoying at times.
Accurate. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've always been pretty a motivational guy. And one of the things that I used to shy away from is like, I don't want to be a motivational speaker. But you know what? Motivation is like bathing. It's best if it's applied daily. So I always go back to that, right? What I do is maybe provide just a little bit of encouragement. I may give you more than you'll ever be able to pay for, right? With your time. And you're going to be like, this is awesome. I want to be around this guy, right? You may not be my ideal client, but you may know somebody who is, and that's the value. I always give value because I know at the end of the day, you may know somebody who is looking for what I have. And then we create co-partnerships. Mr. David?
You all can't be like Salvador Dali's late grandson or something, you know, it's like, so how do you give somebody, like if they're trying to have a presence that's memorable, how do you coach people into their own persona?
Yeah, I love to, so when I was working with Roll in the podcast studio, I always say this a lot. I try to find the things that make you, you. So I talk about fatherhood, I talk about being a veteran, I talk about coaching all the time, I love motivation. That makes me unique enough not to be all of you. And I just share it from my perspective. I'm always trying to reach one person. And at the end of the day, the person you're trying to serve is usually the old version of yourself. Right? You've gone through those problems already. You know what to do. And sometimes you're like, wake up. I know exactly what it feels like because I lived it. And so for me, I know this question comes up a lot. Who's your ideal clients? I'm usually trying to serve those that are switching. Those that are switching. So going from, I love to say, young professionals, going from college to the new career, how do we get better? How do we scale up? Because I know what it's like to go from the East Coast to Houston. I love people who are transplant Paralandians because I'm one too, right? And I like people who are getting ready to scale their business. So those are like the three if you start thinking. But for me, I always go back to what makes you unique. Speak on those things. The person you're trying to reach on the other end of this camera is the old version of you. That is why I've been so consistent in showing up online. That's it. I'm trying to reach the old me. Like, dude, wake up. I know you're destined for more because I'm living it. I'm living it. And the dreams that we're dreaming now are not big enough. Yes.
Okay, how do you find your clients? Because you mentioned your ideal clients and that you're working with, it's Insperity,
Yep.
and you did a speech for NASA. So how you connect with them, how do you find?
All of you, right? Word of mouth is the best version. So I know that what I say in person, some of you may go back and actually follow me online, and then you'll see that I'm saying the same things. And you're like, this guy is not only that way in person, but he's also showing up online. And so they've come through referrals. Now, there is a little bit of cold outreach. I've done a few folks where I've met through networking, and even then, it's a warm handoff. That is what I do. I don't do a whole lot of cold. I know my wife and I, we have a second business. I'm also a disabled veteran. I'm in a really good spot in my life. So I can say yes and no to those things to find the people that I know I will serve. Grant?
So how do you prioritize? You're showing up everywhere, you're posting constantly, you're there for your family 100%, and you're in all these spaces as a leader. How do you prioritize and how often do you say no?
Grace. I prioritize with grace. I fail at all of those things, and I appreciate you saying that. I fail at every single one of those things. I fail at showing up every day on socials. I fail at doing the most that I can. I following up with emails. I fail at being there for all of my kids because there's 4 of them. I fail at being there fully present for my wife. But it is through the grace of knowing that I'm only doing the best that I can with what I have, and I will get and find a way to do a little bit better. So if I have grace with myself, then everyone else and each and every one of you will find a little bit of grace for that too. I appreciate that. I'll keep going.
Time for one more question. Anybody have one more? Okay.
Yes, Miss Christie.
I was saving this question for my son. What is Grace's favorite treat?
Grace's favorite treat. She loves dried meats. Dried meats. If I had to say her absolute favorite, it's probably rabbit. Yeah. Or like the chicken hearts. She loves chicken hearts too. Yeah, that made me think of it. Which there's a Pet Supply Plus right here. You guys can go. Anything else?
All right, so one last question. How can we as a community help you?
Yeah, you mentioned going up online. I know everybody can't make in person, so we started a Facebook page. It's the Go Getter Community. Go Getter Community. You go in, you answer your questions, come in the group. We are very encouraging. We find resources, and that is my job. I love to help people. So go to the Go Getter Community. Is it? It's right there. See that sweet little mustache? Click on the QR code, join the community. That's how you can help me.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Come on, guys.
Add to your cup collection there.
Yeah.